Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Dear students and friends, I am very happy that today we are going to discuss about the lessons from our scriptures. As you know that we are very rich. The Indian culture and heritage has such rich cultures as Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, Mahabharata, Ramayana. And the usual disclaimer that whatever I say, it is not anyone's view but my own personal view, which I have learnt from my parents. Also, I was a direct student of Dr. S.K. Chakravarti, the famous person at IIM Calcutta. And as an allegory, I can say I was to him what Arjun was to Dronacharya. So I really learnt it very well. So it is my interpretation. And only thing is, we will not only understand it, we will try to understand that what is the application of these scriptures for our management. So we go back and one more thing, friends, that you are in an era where you will be traveling to a lot of countries because it's a very globalized world and you look forward to travel. So, if you let's say go to Germany or America, they will ask you, okay, you have come from India, what does the Vedas mean? So it is always, what does the Upanishad mean? What does the Bhagavad Gita mean? So, if you have a blank face, it is not a good idea because people are taking too much interest nowadays in the Indian culture and Indian ethos. So being an Indian, it is always good that you at least have a working idea. Now this is a small session. This is like you build the foundation. Now you have to build on top of it. So this gives you an interest in the area, and then I am hoping that you will build upon it. Again, to give an example, Arjun was Dronacharya's Shishya. He was number 1 in Dronacharya. But when he passed out of the Gurukul also, he kept on learning. And that's why he remained the Sarvasreshth Shishya. Because if you don't learn continuously, you will stagnate, right? So let us start with the Vedas. So the Vedas are a collection of the ancient Sanskrit text. And perhaps you must have heard the Rig Ved, Samved, Yajurved and Atharvaved. That was a time when these Vedas came thousands of years ago, when there was no industry. So it was more of an agrarian society, and people were very connected to the nature, the sky, the sun, the wind. And it was important that they developed the hymns and the prayers and the religious practices basically based on that thing. But it has got relevance today because it has been found that these hymns create such a sound, such a good vibration, that it creates a very positive environment both for an individual's health as well as for the surrounding area. The purpose is to preserve knowledge about the religious customs, traditions and philosophical concepts. Now we also have the Upanishads. Upanishads are the spiritual inquiry seeking to understand the nature of reality, the self, which is the Atma, and the ultimate reality of the Brahman. The Upanishads are a collection of philosophical texts considered part of the Vedas and are often seen as the culmination of the Vedic thought. Now you may ask that what is the relationship of Upanishad to Vedas? So the Upanishads are a later part of the Vedas and they are often called the Vedanta. Ant means end, Ved, Ant, Vedanta. It is Sandhi of Ved plus Ant, or the end of the Veda, as they represent the final philosophical portion of the Vedic tradition. So basically, whereas Vedas focus more on rituals, hymns, prayers, this is more about the philosophical side of it, right? Now what are the key concepts? We will only discuss a few key concepts here. Brahman is not only about a caste, It is about the ultimate reality, the universal consciousness, the source of all existence. So it is the ultimate reality is the Brahman, and Atman is the individual self, the soul, which is identical with the Brahman. So there is a Brahman, and this our Atman is actually being connected with the soul. And what is moksha? We have sometimes our grandfathers, grandmothers say हमको मोक्ष चाहिए. What is मोक्ष? कि जो हम लोग का we believe in जन्म मृत्यु का cycle, life birth, pain, sorrow. So how do you get out of this cycle of freedom from the cycle of birth and death, and you become spiritual liberation? That means your Atma will become same together with the Supreme Paramatma. So the whole life should be to strive to see God, to realize that Supreme Being, right? Once again, to summarize, the difference between the Vedas and Upanishads lies in the focus. So Vedas primarily deal with rituals, hymns, religious practices, while the Upanishads delve into the philosophical and spiritual concepts, seeking to understand the nature of reality and the self. And how was it passed on? Through the Gurukul. Because even if some people are realized soul, they have to then give it back to the next generation. And that's why the Guru Shishya Parampara is there. The Guru will teach the Shishya, then Shishya will become the Guru, he will teach. So it will go on like this. And Vedas is more through, the sannyasis used to do meditation. So it was more through their Shruti thing. This is the ultimate truth. And that is how it was done. Now you must have, all of us know about this. But let us try to interpret this in a more meaningful way, right? Let us take some time, because as I told you, the Krishna Arjun chariot is very, very famous. But today we are going to interpret it in a higher way. Because I like to believe that whatever a sannyasi used to do, that a much higher meaning. It is not just about a chariot and a war in the Mahabharata. So let's think of it. There is the chariot, there is Arjun, and the charioteer is the Lord Sri Krishna himself. Now what is the chariot representing? The human body. And you have seen in the chariot there are 5 horses. They are the 5 senses. The tasting, seeing, hearing, smelling and touching. So the 5 horses represent those 5 senses. So you have a body, you have those 5 senses. And there is a road on which the chariot is moving. What is the road? The pleasure, pain objects for our senses. How to get pleasure? Chalo, let us see a movie in Netflix. We will get some pleasure. What is pain? Someone's death has happened. So ekdam se man kharab. So this is a road. No one's life can be only pleasure. No one's life can be only pain. It will be a mix of pleasure and pain. And how you are able to overcome that pain, that is very important. Because you must have seen that someone's relative dies, and more than relative, someone's parents. One day our parents have to go. And it's a law of nature. It is very sad if someone's son or daughter passes away. That is very sad. But you would see that many daughter in particular, son also, that once their mother has passed away, the father has passed away, they are completely shattered, completely heartbroken, and it is for days. They sometimes get into kind of a depression. And I'm not talking of a class 5 or class 6 girl. I am talking of a 40-year-old lady, 50-year-old lady. It is good to be attached to your parents, but there is a difference between good attachment and moha. Here what is happening is you are developing a moha with someone. And I will tell you something very, very interesting, and this will help you to overcome, because we all going to face that one day. Our father or mother has to leave us one day. Or maybe a very close mosi, your auntie, or very good uncle, close mama, he one day goes away. And you are crying and crying and crying. And then I ask you that, beta, why are you crying? So he says, no, my auntie was there. Whenever I used to go, she would give me my favorite sweet. She would make that bhujia for me. So actually, you are not crying for your mosi or your auntie, you are crying for yourself. That you are going to miss the bhujia or the favorite kaju barfi that your mosi would have given to you. Because after death, please realize that that person has risen above pleasure and pain. There is no hunger, there is no thirst, there is no pain for your mosi or your mother. So you are crying not for your mother, but for yourself. My father is not there, अब मुझे कौन advice देगा? पहले I could run to my father whenever I wanted. अब मुझे who will advise me? So you are not crying for your father. Whom are you crying for? You are crying for yourself. कि I am going to miss my father. But there is a limit. But by the time you are 30, 32, 35, you should have grown up. And now actually you should be a support to your father. Not the other way around that, your father is still supporting you. We are all having a lot of respect and love for our parents. But we have to get over this moha. So pain is there. But how we face with that pain, that is what it is. Now, then we move to the chariot's reins. That symbolizes the human mind. Like, let's say if you're a student, you have got an exam coming in 3 days, but आपको मन नहीं लग रहा है, you don't feel like, you still want to see a movie. So आपका sense क्या कर रहा है? Movie देखने जाना है. तो mind को क्या करना पड़ेगा? No, exam है, अभी movie नहीं. After exam gets over, movie is there. I feel like reading storybooks instead of my textbooks because it is easy. I open my mobile phone and I'm seeing reels after reel. I'll see it for 10 minutes. So it's 9 o'clock, one reel, okay, good. Second reel, third reel. You realize 10 o'clock, 1 hour has passed. You thought it was 10 minutes, it's 1 hour. Why it is happening? Because your eyes, they always want to see such light things. It is difficult to study books and concentrate. That's a lot of concentration. So your mind is always, your senses are wanting to easy things. So what is the difference between the boy who does well in life, the student who does well in life and who does not do well? The person who does well in life is having discipline. He says, nahi, 6 to 9, I'm going to study. 9 to 9:30 is dinner. 9:30 to 9:45, 15 is break. By 9:45, I must be back to studies. So what is that person? What is the student doing who is actually better in studies? He is able to rein in, control his actually senses, right? And what is Arjun? He is there in his Rath. He is the embodied individual. He is basically there. And the charioteer who is actually having everything, it is given to Lord Krishna, who symbolizes the Atma, often referred to as the self, the higher intellect or the buddhi. So with the buddhi, you will control the mind will control the senses, and the senses will make sure that you are in the good part. Let us see the next slide also, some details are there. So our favorite for many of you, because it symbolizes the highest thing, Lord Krishna. He is a symbol of the divine guidance, emphasizing the importance of seeking understanding from higher source, right? Now, we talk of Guru. So Arjun found, and in English it is mentor. So Arjun found his Guru in Sri Krishna, and Duryodhan found his Guru in Shakuni. So it's up to you, friends, who is your Guru. Because if you choose Shakuni as a Guru, you will go down. So question is, do you have a Guru at all? Many of us don't have any Guru. I have seen in my life that many of us, having alcohol are saying, very stylishly that मैंने यहाँ दीक्षा ले लिया है. I have taken, Diksha, I have got a Guru in Ramakrishna Mission. But no contact with the Guru. It is just to tell in the social world. You don't even meet the Guru. So basically what is happening, I find these people are totally attached to wealth, money, power, fame. But they say I have a Guru. So the guru is also not having any influence of the student, and the student is also not having a. So these slides, my friends, are not only time pass. This is actually, I am trying to motivate you from my inner self. This is the puja I am doing for you. One kind of puja is go to the mandir and ask for rupam dehi, dhanang dehi. But what I am doing is also puja, in my opinion, that I am trying to give the best of my 40 years to you and tell you, please search, you search, I will not find, no one else can find, you search a mentor who is two qualifications, in my opinion. You should be at least 10 years older than you. Second is, he has the quality to be your Margdarshak and Shubh Chintak. Margdarshak means who can show you the right path, and Shubh Chintak means who always thinks of your welfare. Even if you have a little idea of Mahabharata, you will find that Sri Krishna always thought good of Arjun. He was his Shubh Chintak and he was his Margdarshak, showing the right path. You would have known that many times, Arjun was saved from death by Sri Krishna. Whether it was fighting with Karna, whether it was fighting with Jayadratha, there was many times when Arjun was in great difficulty, and it was only because of Sri Krishna, his mentor, that he could come out of those difficult situations. As you know that Arjuna was even not wanting to fight the Dharma Yudh. He was wanting to leave the battlefield. Only because of Sri Krishna's teachings, he could be there. Now you will tell me that, sir, what is this battlefield? We are in an office. We are in an educational institute. What is this battlefield? What is relevance? No. In your case, your educational institute is your battlefield. Your office is your battlefield. Now, in a government institute is different, but most of you will join the private sector. Many times you have a bad boss, you don't have good quality work, so you may not feel like going to office tomorrow. Man nahi lag raha office jane ka. So you have to get a mentor who is going to tell you how to combat that situation, because you might have bad boss, bad colleagues, bad subordinates. It is very likely in today's world. So how do we deal with that boss, that subordinate, your colleagues is very, very important, because even if you are good, sometimes one or two bad people can be there. So deeper meaning again, it is for you. Like the horses, if you leave it, you will just go here and there. So you have to make sure that your senses, your 5 senses are not running wild. It is not only about studying, even like we want to eat gulab jamun, it's very favorite food. One gulab jamun, very nice. Second gulab jamun, very nice. Third, after 5, it will become poison in your body. So taste is, I like gulab jamun, but you have to control and say, I should not have so many gulab jamuns. So this has got relevance. It is not, we are not talking of Mahabharata war. We are talking of its relevance to you, my friends. Because if you want to be successful, and I can tell you one thing with my 40 years experience, that all people who are successful are very disciplined. When you say disciplined, anusashan, what it means is control the senses. So what does the mind do? It connects the senses to the intellect. The reins are connecting the horses to the charioteer. And of course, the intellect of the charioteer is the decision maker, the reasoning faculty that must guide the mind. I will tell you about one small incident. Many of you maybe know, because this is very famous. One day in the battlefield, Dronacharya told Yudhishthir, not Yudhishthir, told Duryodhan that we have to win the war, but I cannot kill them. So what I will do is, I will do a Chakravyuh tomorrow, and we are going to trap it. Only one condition, because only Arjun is too good. So you take him away from the battlefield, we will create the Chakravyuh, Arjun is far away, and we will catch Yudhishthir and we will make him bandi, prisoner. So what happened is, next in the battlefield, to take away Arjun, just frivolously, because Arjun was so good, one prince or a king, he keeps on telling Arjun that you are a coward, this, that, you don't know, leave the Gandiv. And when Arjun is trying to attack, this person is retreating. Arjun attacking, he is retreating. Now Arjun is saying, no, it is my dharma, he has insulted the Gandiv, I must go after him. But the Sri Krishna, the Buddhi, told him, iske piche mat jao, don't go after him, because you will be moving away from the main battlefield. But Arjun says, no, I will go. So even though the Buddhi is telling not to go, Arjun is telling follow him. And so what happened was, as you know, that Arjun went far away from the battlefield, and in Chakravyuh was created, Abhimanyu went inside, and there was no Arjun, so Abhimanyu was killed. Now it is not about Abhimanyu, I am talking about you, that make sure that your Subuddhi, we must pray to God that Bhagwan mujhe Subuddhi do, give me good wisdom, give me good knowledge, give me good Buddhi, Subuddhi, because so that I can take the right decisions. It's very, very important. We all have this thing, I will tell you a decision. After school, should I do physics honors? I am just giving an example. Should I do an BCA? Should I do engineering? Should I do medicine? Everything is a different path. So everywhere you need to take a decision. After your studies complete, whether I should join this company, government company, PSU, private sector, should I give UPSC? So every time in life you are having multiple decision points, and here your friend cannot help you because he is different, you are different. And again, in Indian ethos, lot of focus is there on the Atma, the soul, the true self, who is merely the witness or rider in the chariot. Now give you an analogy. What is this soul? We are saying that I am a body. If you prick a needle, I feel the pain, but the soul is not feeling any pain. The body is burnt, but the soul is not burnt. So to give an easy allegory, let us say we go to Delhi railway station. So trains are coming, going, but there is a station master of the train. He is merely an observer. Sometimes the trains are coming late, sometimes the train is coming early, but it is not affecting the station master of the train. So our soul is like the station master. You are having pleasure, you are having pain, but the soul is remaining untouched. This feeling you should have. The question sometimes you should ask. Today we are all busy with our careers, padhai, your studies, but sometimes you should ask, who am I? Am I this hand? Am I this eyes? No, I am bigger than the hand. Even the hand is not there, I am there. So who am I? I am supposed to be that supreme consciousness, the self. Now here, from Mahabharata we are going to discuss some characters. It is not that we are discussing that characters only, we are discussing how it is going to help you. You are the focus of this discussion. So if you look at Arjun, it is my favorite character. He is favorite of all stages of life. When you are small, young, Pitama Bhishma's most favorite grandson is Arjun. He goes to school, Dronacharya, most favorite student. He gets married, Draupadi had 5 husbands. Most favorite is Arjun. Again, mentor, Sri Krishna, most supreme being, Narayan, most favorite is Arjun. So there is something great about this Arjun as a character which endears him to everyone. So I leave that thought with you. Behave in such a way that you are liked by everyone. Yeah, Arjuna was not liked by Duryodhana, that's okay. But if you look at the main person, so when you go to an office, does the chairman like you? When you're in the family, does your parents really love you? Most, they always love you, most. Do your colleagues love you? So be like Arjun. Very focused, bird's eye, we know, he just looked at the bird's eye. He focused on his knowledge, and Arjun was extremely ethical. Unlike another character, Ashwatthama, who was Dronacharya's son, you know, he also had tremendous power. But you know, in one night, Ashwatthama killed the 5 sons of Draupadi. In the night, he is killing him. So he is using his power in a wrong way. But if you look at Arjun, in the entire war, he is not doing anything wrong. So can we follow the ethics in our life? And as we discussed, Arjun had total faith and loyalty to Sri Krishna, Dronacharya, Pitama, Bhishma. Now here, I think because I have gone very deep into it, I will give you a lesson. And from Mahabharata, we will tell you something by which you can actually learn something. I am telling you a very practical thing. During the first 10 days of the Mahabharata war, Pitama Bhishma was just killing the soldiers of the Pandavas. Every day 10,000 soldiers were getting killed, and Pitama Bhishma had Ichha Mrityu ka Vardhan. So you cannot do anything to him. But he had to be removed from the battlefield. So what is the way out? So Sri Krishna, the Supreme, told Arjun that Arjun and Yudhishthir, you go to, in the evening there is no war, you go to Pitama Bhishma and ask him that, sir, you have given us the Vijay Shri Ashirvad, you have given us the Ashirvad of winning the war. So please tell us, how do you win the war? And Pitama Bhishma tells him the secret that if you bring a lady, I shall not fight. So Arjun could not decode it, but Sri Krishna knew that he referred to Shikhandi. So we always say, ki bring a Shikhandi in front of you. So there was a Shikhandi in front of Arjun, and Arjun was able to win against Pitama Bhishma. Now, so what is the relevance of you? The way I have thought is that we, if you want to do well in life, you have to generate business. If you are a businessman, if you are an entrepreneur, you are doing a business, you have to ultimately get customers. There can be government is a very big customer even now, even today. There will be a government officer or there will be a very big person who is responsible for giving the order. So therefore, sometimes when you are not able to get the order, taking a lesson from this, you can meet the chairman of that company who will give the order, or you can meet the senior most government officer and say, sir, I am very much interested to apply for this particular thing, with a lot of folded hands like Arjun would do, and says, sir, can you tell me, sir? And this is my application. So he says, not good, the application is not good. So you say, sir, please guide me, sir, how to improve my application. So you are going to the person himself who is the decision maker. Are you understanding how beautiful it is? So I am able to link Mahabharata with your real life, that you are able to go into a decision maker only and find out the secret from him. Instead of your applying the knowledge alone, you are taking it. So these are all, lot of secrets are there in Indian ethos. So please start believing that there are a lot of secrets, and I am trying to share that with you in a one-to-one. Now you have to go deeper into it on your own and try to understand. This is there, in all modern books also, in everything, that ultimately there will be truth and dharma shall prevail. In the middle there may be problem. It is not only about Mahabharata, it is about Ramayana also, it is about all the scriptures. Even in Western scriptures, you will find that always the good shall win. One more very interesting thing I want to tell you, that Arjun's biggest rival was Karna. So in the first day of the direct war between Arjun and Karna in the battlefield, Karna had the upper hand. Just before sunset, Karna could have killed Arjun. So in the evening when the battle stops, Arjun is completely crestfallen. He says, today to Karna mujhe maar sakta tha. He could have killed me today. Ye meri, ये जिंदगी तो बस अब दया की है. It is given as a gift from Karna. I cannot accept the gift. Then Sri Krishna tells him that Parth, तुम्हारे मन को इधर उधर भटकने मत दो. कल जब तुम्हारा कर्ण के साथ निर्णायक युद्ध होगा, तो मन को पीछे की ओर आने मत देना. Tomorrow, when you'll have the final battle with Karna, do not look back at yesterday and fight with total focus like Arjun. And as we know, Arjun defeated Karna the next day. Now again you will tell me, sir, why are you telling me this thing? There is no Karna in my life. It is not about Karna, my friend. Suppose you are looking for a job, particular job. Let's say, hypothetically, you are giving an UPSC examination. This is very difficult. And first time, you not able to be successful. Now there are two approaches. One is, your friends will tell, "This hoga nahi." It's not up to you. You start believing ki मेरे से होगा नहीं. But you know, the person is a good guy, who's a really strong guy. He will say, this year I did not do it, but next year I'm going to approach it with total confidence and I'm going to do it. That's the difference between a winner and a loser, right? So we have to be, so there is a relevance of what I'm telling you about this also in our real life, that sometimes we approach a work, we approach a presentation, we not will do it, and you feel कि मेरे से होगा ही नहीं. You get into depression. नहीं, मेरे से होगा, आज नहीं हुआ, कल जब सवेरे होगा, I'm going to again put my energy and effort tomorrow morning. I'm going to refocus myself and not think, I'll not let my mind come back to yesterday when I was not successful. Because if you think of the failure, you'll fail. Right? So this is a very, very big lesson, and I thought of putting it as small points for you. The whole idea is, as I told you, I really want that, benefit from it. And this is not from any ChatGPT or Google, I'm telling you, this is completely from my own experience, the huge experience I've got. I'm trying to put it for you. So please, there are some slides from ChatGPT, Google, but there are many things which I'm trying to put it for you. It's up to you, friends and students, how much benefit you can do from this. And Duryodhan, we know that he was in the path of wrong, but ultimately punishment was very severe for him. He died very bad death. So many times in life you'll find that some uncle, some neighbor, some boss of yours doing bad things. He does bad thing today, tomorrow there is no thunder, no lightning. So you tell, ये कलयुग है, अब सब खराब लोग भी ऐसा कर रहे हैं. नहीं, कल कुछ नहीं हुआ. Even God is kind, so God will give you more time. आप अगर दुष्ट हैं तो भगवान is very kind, so he will give you more time to rectify. When you don't rectify, then you will perish basically. Some other very important things you must know, that Dhritarashtra, blind love, so that is moha. And moha is never very good. So never have any blind attachment to anything at all. Bhishma put the king above the kingdom. So basically for him, the Raja, Dhritarashtra, was above Hastinapur itself. So what is important is that when you are working in a particular company, the company must be above any particular individual. Your loyalty to an individual should not be above the company itself. The company must be there. If you are in government service, you have to think that what is it? You should not be loyal to one person. You should see, am I doing the right government service or not? Dronacharya, he valued the job above dharma, because he said कि मुझे इतना इतना नमक मिला है. I got so much salary from these people, so I cannot leave Duryodhan, but he should have left him. Same with Kripacharya. So if you find that you're working in a company, you are in the middle level, you cannot change, but you know the company is unethical, please leave the company. Don't stay in an environment which is bad only because you are getting a good salary. This is a big lesson from you, because if the company is bad, nothing will happen tomorrow, nothing will happen day after tomorrow, but after some time. And we know there is no, I should not name companies publicly, but many companies which has gone completely down because they were following a very unethical path, but which was very high and then it went down very sharply. The other very, very important thing I want to leave this lesson, it's a very important lesson for society also. That an attempt, we all know about Draupadi's Vastraharan scene, but what is the meaning of that Vastraharan scene? That I will discuss today. So, where is Draupadi's Vastraharan taking place? In the palace, in the where the king is sitting, where everyone is sitting, noble people are sitting. Pitama Bhishma is there, Dronacharya is there, Kripacharya is there. In front of everyone, you are trying to outrage the modesty of a lady, right? And what are everyone doing? All are silent. They are not reacting. When does a society downfall? It is not because of the 10% bad people. It is when 80% of good people are silent. Jo ho raha hai hone do, humko kya lena? When the good people are silent, because the bad people always very less. They are doing dadagiri, but they are very, very less in number. The good people, they are not interested in anything else. They are keeping just calm to only take care of the family. That is very bad. When that happens, the society will go down, the company will go down. So this is a very big lesson that if you think that you are a good person, you should react when something bad is happening. Because when adharma happens, you shall perish and the people around you shall also perish. Ashwathama, not a deserving person, but he had the Narayana Astra. Why? Because Dronacharya's father had blind love for him. And with that, he used it very, very wrongly. So the lesson for it is that do not give power, like you are the chairman, don't give power to people who are bad because they are going to misuse that power. People only with character must be having the right power and authority. So from Mahabharata, we move to the other very, very popular scripture, the Ramayana. In Ramayana, when you talk of Ramayana, we always talk of Lord Ram. And normally what you think? A prince, a son, so he'll have a very smooth life. But we all know about Ramayana, what a difficult life he had. But what was important for him is that even in the most difficult situations, he had what we call the fortitude. And he remained an embodiment of justice, compassion and self-control. So, when you find difficulties in life, think of Lord Ram and I am sure that your life is much more smoother. Don't count your troubles, count your blessings basically. As we know, Ravan was also a noble man, but unka buddhi brushed ho gaya. He lost his buddhi and he abducted a wife of Lord Ram, Sita Mata. So we must make sure that our buddhi is never brushed. We should pray to God to always give us subuddhi. The other very great character is Sri Bajrang Bali. He is a great team member. Whenever Lord Rama and Lord Lakshmana are having problem, he is always there to diffuse the crisis. So we must be able to have in our team such a person who is able to always support us and take us out of difficult situations. Dharma is the guiding principle in all actions. And of course, the ideal leadership is of Lord Ram. When you talk of loyalty and devotion, you have Hanumanji, Lakshmanji and Sita Mata. Courage and duty, you do what is right despite hardships. Do what is right despite hardships. Relationships are of respect, responsibility and love. And we talk of Ram Rajya, where everyone is having justice, where there is a prosperity and the king or the CEO is thinking of the subject's welfare. So relevance is the value-based leadership, leading with ethics, very high emotional intelligence, compassion, daya, patience and thoughtful decisions. Ramji was able to build a lot of very nice team and during the crisis, very calm, very principle driven in response to adversity. Now you will see in India, we had Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, such great religions have originated from India. So we move on to Buddhism. Just the highlights we'll put. The 4 noble truths of Buddhism are very famous. It says that life involves suffering or dukkha. Dukh, suffering, why? Because it is caused by attachment. And Gautam Buddha says that you can overcome the suffering. How? The Eightfold Path leads to liberation. So what are the Eightfold Path? You have a right view, the right intention, the right speech, the right action, the right livelihood, you're putting the right effort, mindfulness and concentration. So basically what is the Eightfold Path to get liberation is that right livelihood. That means don't earn your livelihood to something which is wrong. Because if you are with a smuggler, then you will have to do smuggling. So do not take any path which is wrong. And if the livelihood path is correct, you must again within that also take right action. You should say things which are right. Your intention should always be right. You should put the right effort, concentration. Mindful means being in the present. So application of Buddhism in management, mindful leadership. You are always focused and there is emotional regulation. There is the ethical culture because right action will speech, will build the trust. We are always talking that we are under high stress. How to reduce the stress? Through meditation and mindfulness. No one in the world is under stress if you live in this moment. Why you are under stress? You are thinking kal kya hoga, parsu kya hoga, ek saal baad kya hoga. My age is 55, what will happen when I retire at 65? We are always living in the future. But if you live in the present, you will never have stress. Or you are thinking, Arey, I should have studied engineering, why didn't I study? So either you are in the past or in the future. But what Gautam Buddha is telling is that be mindful, be in the present. Adaptability, acceptance of change, because it is impermanence. Everything is going to change all the time. The good times also change, bad times also going to change. So you must be adaptable to that. You must have a very caring leadership. You should care for the people around you. Empathetic means you must understand the other people's difficulty. So only then we should be able to be a good leader. When you are empathetic, you are understanding other people's problems. What's the purpose? It should be value-based, it should be meaningful. That means contribute to society, contribute to something higher. So above you is the family, above family is the society, above society is the nation. So when you are linking your work to society and nation, you will always find that your life has become purposeful, fruitful. Another great religion originated from India, Jainism. When you think of Jainism, which you all studied in school, in our school days, ahimsa, non-violence. We should not harm any being at all. And karma karna hi padega. We have to do work. So liberation will come through purity of our conduct. There are 3 jewels: the right faith, samyak darshan, right knowledge, samyak gyan, right conduct, samyak charitra, and aparigraha, detachment from materialism and desire. There is a lot of similarity between the teachings of Buddhism and Jainism. So you are attached. Today I have a flat at Bombay, but I need a flat at Delhi also. I need a flat at Calcutta also. I need a flat at Chennai also. I need a flat at Singapore also. So you are attached. This is my mobile. This is my flat. When you are too much attached, then that mobile breaks, you are crying. It's just a mobile phone. Gir ke toot gaya and you are crying and crying because you are so much attached to that mobile phone. There is of course many-sided reality. Always remember that truth has got multiple perspectives and therefore promote tolerance and dialogue. Do not think that whatever you think is the truth, because truth has many sides. Many times you will see the district court has given a punishment to someone, but the high court says no, that judgment is not correct, that person was not wrong. Suppose the high court says that this person is wrong, you will find the Supreme Court reverses the high court decisions, because the truth has got many perspectives. Sometimes happens after 5 years it is found out that this person is not guilty at all. So therefore never say that you know everything, that this is the truth, I know it. You do not know, because there are many dimensions to the truth. And forgiveness. Very nice thing of Jainism, that they will write once a year, my friend, if I have ever hurt you knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. So you are asking for forgiveness, you are asking for cleaning. Now I will give you a very nice anecdote. My father had told me this in class 7, but I have still not forgotten it, about truth. A crime had happened, a murder had happened. Now the police had caught hold of the murderer, and he says, I had done the murder, but it was my friend who was actually behind it, because he was shouting at me and telling, Maro mat chodo, Maro mat chodo. So I got excited and I killed. So everyone believed it, but there was one person like Vikramaditya who said, the cross questioning is done by the defense counsel, and when that person was asked, he said, "Main bol raha tha, I was saying, maro mat, chodo." So the words are what? Maro mat chodo. But if you put maro comma mat chodo, is the opposite meaning of maro mat chodo. Now what is the truth? The words are 3. So therefore we have to be very patient, very empathetic, don't get into judgment every time. Another great religion, Sikhism. This was again founded in the 15th century by Guru Nanak Dev Ji in Punjab. The core beliefs include equality, selfless service, seva, honesty, imandari, and remembrance of that supreme, that God, नाम जपना. हम लोग बोलते हैं काम करते रहो, नाम जपते रहो. So you do the work, but don't forget that supreme person. And there's a lot of emphasis on the community, on sangat, service, pangat, and seva, selfless service. In one way it says that even if you're a leader, be a servant leader, that are you serving the people around you, right? It is very interesting, someone had pointed out this to me, that you will never find a beggar who is a Sikh. It's an amazing thing, in such a big population, but there is no beggar who is a Sikh, because I think the Sikhism is always telling such good things. One, the chakna, sharing. So basically it says that you are making profit, plus please share the profits with everyone, and there should be inclusive growth. That means not only you grow, but let others also grow with you. Kirat karo, honest living, integrity and ethics driven. And Naam Japna is mindfulness, because when you keep on thinking of the name of the Supreme, you'll be focused and you will reduce the stress. So to see the values which are there, it is this selfless service, seva, encourages servant leadership. And today you are seeing in the West, they are talking of CSR, corporate social responsibility. The government has to make regulation to say that the company must, 2% of profits the government must do in social activities. But if you look at our own religion, they have been talking this much before the West. But when the West tells us, it becomes very fashionable. CSR karna hai. But our religion has already told us all this. Sharing. We are talking about ESOP, Employee Stock Option Plan. And we think it's a very modern concept. No, It is already there. The profit must be shared and inclusive growth has to be done. Honest living, integrity and ethics in the workplace. Whatever you do it with honesty and be mindful so that it focuses and reduce stress. Now, we had a discussion of 3 important religions which all originate from India: Sikhism, Jainism, Buddhism. If you see this, whatever we discuss right now, in all of this religion, Hinduism and all this, same central concept of dharma, because I think the Indian soil is like that, which promotes dharma or righteousness. It tells us that there may be problem in the temporarily, but in the long term it will always be good to in the side of dharma. It tells us of doing service. It tells us to be honest. It tells us to be sharing and caring. It tells us to be empathetic. So, are you not finding that this religion, if you follow any religion in whatever religious form, you will be able to also do your business better. You will be able to run your company better. Even if you let us hope that many of you, instead of becoming job seekers, you become job creators. That's what I want for you, entrepreneurs, that you employ 10 people, 100 people in your company. So instead of looking at the West, don't you think if you follow the essence of whatever is there in our dharma, in already taught to us 500, 700, 1000 years before, and there is a complete similarity between the essence of all the teachings actually. And maybe actually if you in a round table, we can call them 4 different religions, but I am sure that if you make them sit in a round table, all these 4 founders, there is no difference between them, because there is a very clear understanding of what I call the Indian ethos and the human values. So all these are subsets, but ultimately they are human values only. So in Sikhism, if you say the management applications, so it is advocating, leading by example, aligning with the transformational leadership. The West is talking about diversity and inclusion today. Sikhism has told it so many 100 years before. Equality and respect for all, support inclusive workplace cultures. Then it talks of decision making guided by ethics, fairness and collective good. And conflict resolution, how? If there is a conflict, how? Get into a dialogue with the person. Do it with compassion. Do it with fair play, justice. So don't resolve the conflict by giving punishment because you're senior. You have a dialogue with the person, understand his point of view. So it will be a long lasting solution will be there, right? Now we all know, this is a slide I have prepared not from any ChatGPT or any Google. We all want to be good. We all are having some religion. Our religious people have told us to act with values, but we find it difficult to act with values. Why? We all know it's not good to copy in exams. Our father, mother is not telling ki beta, tomorrow exams is there. You take chits in the exam hall and copy. No father tells, no mother tells like this. But yet, the students are copying. No father tells, you be an officer and you take bribes. But the persons are taking bribes. They are taking unfair thing of their power. But this is not in any religion. This is not the Indian ethos. But they will justify it, ki nahi, I am doing it for my family. One thing is he will say ki I am doing it for my family. I am taking bribe because I want my family to have a good life. But that is against the Indian ethos. Above the family is the society. You are harming. When you take something, bribe from someone, you are harming that person's family, na? So he is under pain to give you the bribe. So he is harming that person. So you are not thinking of the society basically. So what you are doing is you are choosing the easy path. You are saying that no, I will get good marks and therefore the end is justifying that you are copying in the examination. But what we are saying in Indian ethos is what Gandhiji said, that you also not only have to have good end, you should also have good means, and end cannot justify the means. So that copying of the examination or taking bribes, just small examples I am saying, are never good for any society. I think we have become so corrupt in spite of such great teachings is because we have all become very greedy of having an easy life. We all want to have foreign vacations, we want to have the best television, the best flat, the best granite floors. So we have become very greedy, and unfortunately the societal values are also valuing success, money and display of wealth. When you give your daughter's marriage, everyone wants my daughter should be happy. Yet what is happening today in many cases, there is a vulgar display of wealth during the daughter's marriage or the son's marriage. There is a conspicuous consumption, and we somewhere admire, this person has a lot of money, so we are admiring that person. But this was not, my friends, the ethos neither before the independence nor after post-independence, but there has been a lot of decadence in society. But you are the young people, you are the future of this nation. So therefore I will implore upon you that please revalue your values. Do not take the easy path, because I have put a question mark that is the super successful person whose photograph has come out in the magazine, is he really happy? You will never come to know that. He may be very sick, he may be having high cholesterol, triglycerides, sugar, blood pressure, but his photograph is there. So let us not follow the path of adharma. I will again pray to you that let us follow whatever our saints and seers has told us. Let us follow an honest life, a good life, and I think in the long term, good things will happen to you. So Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, and thank you so much for listening so carefully. Thank you.